Oh, hello again, everybody. Today I'm going to try to figure out if it is the alternator or something else causing our problem with not charging on the Dodge Ram here. We're waiting on some parts for the track, so I can't really work on it. I have done a couple of things, but when I do an update on it, I want to be able to update you on quite a bit. So right now there's not that much done, but when I get the parts, we'll do an update on that. So in the meantime, let's see if we can get this thing working. Now we have our battery hooked up, and let me start the engine. And what we're going to look for, we're going to take our meter and we're going to check the voltage at the battery. Okay, as you can probably see here, we've got the battery right here and the multimeter. It's a tall truck. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a reading on this battery and just see what we got. Now from right here, we have 12.55 volts. That's a good battery, or a good reading for the battery. It just means that is the state of charge of the battery, and that's just how much it has in it. Okay, I'm gonna go start the truck, and then we're going to check and see if our voltage changes any at all. That will let us know if the alternator is putting anything out. So let's start with that. See, our voltage has went down. Instead of going up, it went down. Our voltage is at 12.1 volts. That's not enough. It should go up to like 14 volts or so. So let's check a few things. Okay, so now first off, if you can hear me, we can see the alternator is turning. The belt is turning the alternator. And that is not our problem. See, it can be the alternator slipping. Not in this case. Now we will check the voltage coming out of the stud on the alternator there. Okay, so I tried that with the truck running and tried testing this stuff. Camera couldn't hear me, so turn the truck off. We don't need the truck running necessarily for this, but okay. Get up in here. It's such a big truck, you got to kind of get up here with it. Okay, so you can see here is the multimeter. I checked it while it was running. This is just what I did just to show you. Okay, I checked from the case to you can get a hold of the terminal a little bit right here, and it is right now showing battery voltage right at this terminal. Okay, also you want to check, there is a bolt inside here that the wire going to the battery bolts to, and you want to check that you have the same voltage to it, and also check on your battery terminal and make sure that there's no huge difference in voltage. I've got no difference in voltage. So that tells me that this wire and this connection is good, but there is still not 12 volts coming out of here. I think we need to go ahead and pull this alternator off and just see what we can find out here. Okay, so I have a bungee cord hanging here. You also need to take note of, like, there is a sticker right here that shows the belt routing. So if the belt does come off, you have a sticker here to tell you what to do to, you know, figure out how to put it back on. But okay, I'm going to take, looks like this one takes a 5/8. It's probably some kind of metric size too, but we'll just call it a 5/8. Twist the tensioner and should be able to just pick the belt up off of the pulley. And we've got the bungee cord here to help hold that up so that way it doesn't slip off all the pulleys. Okay, so now we're going to take our 9/16. This has multiple sizes on it, so 9/16 and take this off. And yes, by the way, I do need to take the battery terminal off because I am going to be moving the alternator around, and you don't want to move that around with it hot. You will have problems. Okay, I don't know if this has a nut on the back of it. One thing I am seeing, and I'm hoping it is not an issue, is these air conditioner lines, which are right over top of the alternator. Now that doesn't make any sense at all. I'm really hoping that I can get this alternator out. Okay, so I managed to end up loosening it up. I didn't have to take this bracket off after all. I just kind of pried up with a screwdriver on this side. It popped up enough that I could get it up to this point. Now, I'll try to take some of these wires off so I can get in here where I need to be. The way this alternator is looking now, I think it has an external regulator somewhere. So let's just hope the regulator is not bad. Because I suspect if it's externally regulated, I suspect that it will be externally regulated by the engine control computer. So let's hope that's not the problem. Now we may just have to have another alternator, but the alternator consists of just a few moving parts and some electronic components, and we may be able to just fix the alternator instead of replacing it. Okay. I hate bending these. It seems to me like this air conditioner does work. So I don't want to break it. But we need to get our alternator out. Is that steel? Okay, no. Alright. So, okay, so first off, before I start doing all that, I need to size. I need to do that. Okay, one thing I wanted to do was test the brushes. These two contacts, I do believe, are the ones that go to the brushes on the inside. But let's test and see here. Okay, we have continuity between those. Seems to stay connected. Actually, in a way, that's kind of a sign that there's something else going on here. Okay, let's take this cover and stuff off. Wrong way. Let's see if we can find out what's going on in there. Okay, so here's a little cover off. Need to keep this little strap handy. Okay, that looks pretty corroded right there. Cleaning that up may help. Okay, so that's going to be, let's say there should be some diodes in here. Right here is where I'm looking though. where the brushes go. Now I don't know for sure if that is our problem, but okay, let's see here. Now, according to that, there's nothing on it. But with this, that one may not come loose, but this one. Okay, yeah, this one screw stripped out. I think that's the one I got to get off. So I'm going to use a little screw extractor out of this little kit and see if we can't get something to happen here. Chances that would be big enough already. Yep. That one. Okay, it's like magic. Okay, so now we're going to pull these brushes out. Yeah. Neither one of them really sprung. I think they maybe wore pretty good. What about our little contact points here? Scored pretty bad, ain't they? Okay. Okay, so right here we got some sandpaper. Already tore a little bit of it off. Tear a little more off, I guess. And the more I look at these contacts, the more they kind of look like they are scored up pretty good. So let's just clean all the varnishing and scoring up that is on these. Try to make them shiny copper looking again. I'm going to stick this inside there where the brushes are and just better wrap it around something. Let's see. Something that fits in there pretty well. Smaller one. Like that. Wrap this around the socket. That way we keep our at least partially correct profile to our brushes. So I'm just going to have them cleaned up a little bit there, maybe a little bit more. See, they look pretty good. They're a little springy, but not very much. I'm not sure that even springs out enough to contact it very good at all. Can we get any more spring out of these? Let's see. I think it's pretty much all the way out. I don't know. I don't know if we have enough brush left. It is as far out as it will go right there. So what we'll do, we'll try and see if that might be enough. Okay, let me check the contact on this. That should be pretty good. Now, there we go. Just kind of had to hold the brushes up just a little bit, and it was enough. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to use this or not, but I'm going to try it. It went in there. Let me see if I can get this to kind of tighten it a little. Yes. That tightened up pretty good, believe it or not. Huh, okay. Well, that's good, that's good. So, okay. In here. Then there's a couple of these bigger screws. And see, I am not super confident in the brushes on this because of the fact that those brushes are barely contacting that. So I'm going to look into getting a rebuild kit for this. Even if this does work, I'm still going to either get a rebuild kit or just get another alternator. Now the bearings and everything on this alternator sounds really, really good. So I think we're okay with the bearing. What I say is, let's put it all back together and just see what that did, see if it helped us any. And we will go from there. If it didn't help us, then we know we got to do something else. If it did, then that's great. Alright, so let's try this out. See what we got when I start. Alright. Well, that is a much better result. 13.79. Okay, there we go. I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay. We have 13.63. I mean, that's charging. So I say we can probably call that a win. Alright, so now, I mean, it's dropping back down to its whatever voltage. Yeah. I do believe after seeing the state of those brushes, I'm either going to get a rebuild kit for that alternator or just go ahead and get another alternator. I don't know. I'm going to have to check and see if that is, I wouldn't mind having a like a bigger output alternator on it, because if at some point I'm going to put a camper on the back or make it where I can slide a camper in, then I want to have the extra power available. I have to check and see what size alternator that is, because I don't know for sure, and see if I can either go up a size or maybe even add a second one. I do want to also put a power inverter somewhere on this truck and have plugs in the bed toward the back so I can run power tools off of the back of the truck. And in that case, we will need a heavier duty alternator to act like a generator. But anyway, that's for the future. At least for now, it's charging, and I don't know how long that alternator will last with those brushes, but hey, at least we know that was the problem. And the voltage regulator and all that seems to be fine. Everything seems to be working. So I think we have a win there. It'll probably last a while. And if you have an alternator that's acting up, you know, what would it hurt really to take it off and just try that? Because the alternator's messed up anyway. If you mess up a messed up alternator, it really doesn't matter, does it? So, if you have an alternator that's not charging, try popping the brushes off and cleaning it. Cleaning the rotor, the contacts, cleaning the brushes, slap them back in and see if it works. You may get lucky. Anyway, so that is one step on the old Dodge. Anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.